All right, how's it going? Welcome back to another edition of I Dig Day Trading. It is July 31st. It's a Friday at about 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And I took a couple days off from trading, and I'm going to do a separate video on that, what that was like, stock related. But for today, I'm going to talk about two trades, two stocks I was watching. APDN, Applied DNA Sciences. They're in the COVID world. They're trying to develop vaccines or certain procedures that will help in the whole battle against COVID. And then the other one is SONN, Sonnet Biotherapeutics Holdings Incorporated. And they're some biotherapeutic company. Nothing to do with COVID, and actually, why don't we just get right into it about them? These guys were odd because these were two stocks that I found on my own, and always proud to be able to say that. Decided to take a break from the chat room and just do it myself. And with SONN, the thing that was strange was that this is a 2-day chart, so we're right here, right? So this is the day right now. This is pre-market right here. This is this other kinds of pre-market between 4 and 6 in the morning is in here. This is 6 to 9:30 in here. This is yesterday in, see this line right here? Look at that. It's like doing nothing, right? Like this thing was doing zilch, in a 260 range, And then, the last time this thing had any news was on July 20th, and the news article wasn't even that incredible. And so something weird happened. It just decided it was this. Okay, so this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and as you can see in here, all of a sudden there was a lot of volume. And for a long time there was just no volume on this stock. This stock does have a history of spiking, though. Let's just look at a 1-year chart real quick. Look at over here. This is, when is this? This is April 13th. It got as high as $16.20. Also on June of, just a month ago, it got as high as $4.90. And yesterday it closed at $2.90. And as you can see down here, this is a volume indicator. The volume isn't really all that amazing, but then today it was just out of control. I mean, the volume. Look at this volume stick, and look where it went. I mean, it is like up. It's now trading at 550. It got as high as 789. So I made a really bad mistake on this trade. Let's see, what did I do? I was watching this in pre-market. Let's go 4-hour chart. It came up on my radar. I saw that there was really no news, but it was a low float stock with a lot of volume, and I thought, okay, maybe this is something to play. And when I see something like that, it usually means one of two things: that there's some sort of stock promotion going on, like on Twitter or something, and people are just pumping it up, and the company's trying to pump it up because I think now it's like, I guess there's like certain regulations where the SEC had clamped down on stock promote. Companies hiring promoters to pump their stock. They've kind of clamped down on that, but that was before I think social media was very big, and I think Twitter is now this uncharted territory where, kind of a Wild West, where the SEC hasn't got on their radar yet to look at how people are promoting companies and ticker symbols on Twitter and effectively pumping the stock price up with no news. There's like no news. I'm still trying to learn about how that's working and how to actually read it better. Anyway, here we are in pre-market at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was trading at $4.32, and it had closed yesterday at sorry, let me see, one day. It closed yesterday at 291. So, what was going on? Nothing. Nothing was going on except incredible movement. So at one point in the pre-market, it got up to $6.75 at 6:45 in the morning, came flying down to $4.28 at 7 in the morning, spiked back up again to 6.72, got up as high as 7.38, and then what happened was at the open, it opened at about at 4 in the 450s, and it shot up to 638, and then it halted because it was going parabolic. I thought it was going to be a supernova, and it halted because sometimes when these things move so fast, the circuit breakers get tripped and they just halted. And then after the halt, it went even higher. I was going to enter in at around right before the halt, and anyway, to make a long story short, I made the mistake at 9:59 in the morning. Let's see if we can find it. I bought right up here at $7.50 because I had this feeling, it was the wrong feeling, that it was going to go supernova. It was going to go whoosh, maybe even get up to $10 because it had previous highs of $16. So instead, it's done this. And I kind of got a deer in the headlights thing, and I sold it at $6. Where did I sell it? I sold it for like a 20% loss. Fortunately, my position size wasn't very big because I was actually about to go heavier on the position size, but something said to me, this thing's probably a Twitter pump. It's got no news. The last news article was July 20th, and it's already going up high. So I decreased my position, luckily, before I bought it. So I didn't. So yeah, 20% sucks, but at least it was 20% of a reasonable number. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm not angry. So anyway, I sold at 6, and then it luckily, look, it went down all the way to 519, and then it tested this level again on the VWAP, and it got up to 640, and okay, yeah, I could have held and sold then and would have been less pain. Maybe it would have been a 15% loss, but whatever. So the big head scratcher is that you have APDN, which was the other one. So this is another low float stock. This one actually had good news from the FDA, and it didn't really do what I wanted it to do. It closed. Yesterday it wasn't doing much, and holding around $8.40, and then in the pre-market today, it did this incredible spike up to $15, coming down, into the $11, going back up in 13, and then at the market open, let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's see here. So at market open, sorry guys, let me do a 2 hour chart so you can see the market open. That's better. So the market open, it didn't drop heavily. It started at 1308, got down to about 1169. Right, so about $1.50 a share. So it did drop, and it just continued to drop. And here's something that it's been a former runner. It spiked in the past. Good news, had a lot of high volume and crazy price action in the pre-market. Yeah, and it had a news article that came out. Basically, it came out today. It came out. Let's see, where is that news article? FDA. It had this. The thing is, I read the news article, and let's take a quick look at it. FDA approves EUA amendment increasing applied DNA's COVID-19 diagnostic kit testing capacity through use of automated RNA extraction and expands supported platforms. So, it's it's a little bit of fluff because I think this is an in-house press release from the company, but nevertheless, they've had positive news in the past with their COVID-19 diagnostic kit testing technology. So I thought, okay, this should be a player, and of course it was a player in the pre-market, but after the market open, it's just fading. I don't know if this means that later in the day, midday, it might have, maybe this news article, people will catch on to it later in the day and maybe it'll go up or whatever. We don't know. So it's something to watch. I guess the takeaway here for me on this one is, whenever I engage into a trade with something like SONN, and they had no news but a lot of price action, I probably either shouldn't have entered in the trade or I should have entered it a lot more cautiously and not bought in its spike. I should have maybe bought down here at the open and just see what it does and then buy or sell, because this easily could have gone either way at the opening. It could have come out and then crashed down. It didn't. So, and the other part of the takeaway is this pre-market. This is pre-market. This unshaded area, and when there's this much volume in pre-market, there's got to be a strategy on how to deal with this instead of what I've been doing, which is waiting for the market to open and trying to react to what the price movement's going to be. For me, a newbie, often I'm a little slow on the trigger, pulling the trigger, so I have to maybe adjust my strategy and try to enter in a position in the pre-market, and then, I hate to say this, almost like a cross my fingers, and at the market open, watch where it goes, and then sell it, or if it's going up, sell it, or if it starts to go down, of course, just really sell it. In any case, we'll get back to more of this later, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I'm a little down because I'll put it this way. I found these two stocks, SON and APDN, and I was really excited about it because I found them on my own and it fit a lot of the criteria that I was looking for. But the one that I thought was going to do something because it had a better fundamentals and better news didn't do anything. And the one that did do something, I hastily got into a trade knowing that this thing is probably a bunch of fluff and a Twitter pump. And I paid the price for that. But luckily, 20% negative really sucks. But at least I had gone on a more conservative position than I normally do, knowing that. So I at least, kept some of my senses together. And in any case, I sold it at 6, and now it's at 560. So it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Anyway, have a good weekend, and I will see what's going on Monday. All right.